children is a blessing. And it really, until you have kids, you're not going to really understand this. But when you have kids, it's like a whole new part of you is unlocked. A whole new part of you is unlocked when you have kids. And you're not going to know that version of yourself until you have kids. It's like the moment that you have kids, it's like a key unlocks a whole new part of you. And it's incredible. It's a whole different perspective. It's a whole different definition of love. It's a whole different definition of sacrifice. And we get to participate in that, and it's a blessing. And I was talking to somebody, I had somebody come over to tint the windows on our car. At in the garage, I had a sermon playing on the TV, and I was like, "You want me to turn it? Like, do you want to watch like Sports Center or something like that?" Like, because I didn't know. And kids, and we were talking about how there's so many people nowadays who don't want to have kids. And I was telling them, like, it's difficult, it's tough, it's hard. Having kids is hard. Raising kids is hard. It's not easy. But these moments are very temporary moments that deserve to be cherished. When our kids are truly kids, and like, regardless of how old my kids are, they'll always be kids in my eyes, right? Even when they're 18, 19, 20, 50, whatever, right? If I so happen to live that long, like God willing, right? But these moments where they're truly little kids, and in those moments where it might feel like they're like the most difficult times, like for me, I can only speak from experience because my kids are, still like toddlers and like just getting to that age. Like my oldest is 8, right? My youngest is 2 weeks old, right? But these moments deserve to be cherished because they're so temporary. And you can never reverse the clock. You can never get those moments back. You might be tired. It might be stressful. It might be demanding. But you can never get those moments back. You cannot pay to have those moments back. And those are your children. So take some time to slow down and to love them the way that God loves you. Take some time to slow down and be patient with your children the same way that your Father in heaven is patient with you. Because you can never get those moments back. And it's such a blessing that we are able to participate in being a parent in the same way that God is a parent. Obviously, it's a lesser version because we're not God, but we have an opportunity to love our children in a similar manner of which God loves us. So yeah, I mean, I thought this was a beautiful conversation.
Well, with him saying that, it puts me in a situation where, particularly, particularly, I'm actually the side of the conversation where I missed the chance to have my son with me, because I got deported from the United States, and which brings me to the topic where one is I'm missing out being a father and unlocking that part of being a dad and going through the aspects of being parental guidance and being part of a family that I created with my wife, and sometimes I guess being young is difficult, especially if you don't have the right guidance of a family. Coming from a family that did not work out the marriage, and the wife also comes from a family that didn't work out the marriage and doesn't have the right guidance, and then we unite and we don't know how to work it out because we're just the type of people that eventually, since we don't have the right guidance, we weren't able to work out a marriage and become that kind of family that we all wish to be. When like he says, there's people that don't want to have kids, but there are people that do want to have kids, but they just don't know how to work out the good guidelines of being parental, what the word is, you know, sustainable, parentally sustainable, you know. And then my second topic is, if I was American, I would have at least be able to have some kind of a custody, you know. In the United States, an American person goes to jail for 3 months, 8 months, 2 years, and when they come back out, they're able to still see their kids, even if CPS doesn't allow it, or even if the court says they're not supposed to have custody, or they lose their parental rights and they have to pay child support, but they still have the possibility to see their kids. And I just ask God, why this happens to not just me, but to people that they are able to move on with their life and have new family, but with me, I haven't been able to, because I just feel that sensation of I'm missing out something that I'm supposed to be having, and I don't want to move forward because I'm stuck on not accepting the fact that life is not letting me stay where I'm supposed to stay. How am I gonna move forward to something else and just let go? I can't let go because I see that there is something unfair with how things moved around in my life. I mean, I'm gonna go to Costa Rica, have another kid, and just forget that my kid is in the United States. I'm living in Mexico, so I'm gonna find a Mexican woman and have kids here, and then just go through the same struggle. If the family doesn't work out, I'm gonna get kicked out of Mexico, and the same thing's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna have a Mexican son or a daughter in Mexico that I'm not gonna be able to come and see her. So I don't know, I don't see how life can be so fair about this, and I don't think it's God not being fair, because God has his own plans, but I think that life is unfair because of the way that they work the laws for human beings, especially the United States, the way that they use this immigration. I mean, if you go to the United States and you try to have a family and you marry an American person, and you learn the language and you go to school and you get a job and you pay taxes and you're ready to be a father or a mom, and I don't see how you can actually come up and decide, yeah, deport that person, instead of saying, well, he has a kid. I mean, my son is not the excuse to say I should stay, but once you have a son, it is one reason that you should stay. It's not an excuse, it's a reason. You should reason that. You should actually find righteousness. Then a person that just says, oh, I'm gonna go to the United States, get somebody pregnant, and then I'm gonna stay, but leaves that person, but doesn't want to stay with that person. Me personally, I wanted to stay with my wife, and she just didn't want to be with me. My mother-in-law didn't want me to be with her, and she didn't want to be with me, but I was so stubborn to stay with her that I actually ended up being the person that I was not supposed to be, and act like the person that I wasn't supposed to act. So it got me in trouble with the police. Yeah. And now I am where I am. But if the court of law had some sense and what was going on, they would have understood. This is not a situation where we should put this person away from his kid. And that's how I see it. And now I'm missing out on having my kid, and I'm missing out, and I'm now missing out to 10 years of being able to be a father, and I haven't had the chance to. When I am a person that wants to be a father, I want to be a dad, and I want to have my own son. I want to see my DNA flourish. I want to see my son, and I'm getting older, and through all this time I could have been playing sports with my son, and I could have been teaching him the things that I've been learning, and he would have made me a better man. He would have made me a more of a stronger male, a stronger person, a person that has to think about my son and not just about me. I would have to go through struggles in life and put myself in struggles so I can help my son flourish and see what I created and see what I'm doing for my son, and so people can see what I am doing and what I'm capable to do. Because if I'm just doing it for myself, sometimes I really don't care about myself. Sometimes I just feel like whatever is whatever, and I need that because I need my son with me. I need a reason to live, and I don't want to just say because Jesus Christ is my reason to live, but Jesus knows that my son is the reason why I keep fighting. Even though I don't have him with me, he is the reason why I'm still here fighting for that dream future. I don't want to risk my life to cross the border just like a lot of people do and get myself in trouble, because I mean I have my grandma with me, and she's on a wheelchair, and what am I gonna do, cross the border with her? What, I need some money to know where I'm gonna go live, and oh man, life is so fucking tough, bro. Oh, life is tough, bro. And to all the people out there that you guys are thinking, oh, the border, blah 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 blah, the border. I don't know if I should name this video something about the border, or an immigrant deported wishing for his son, or in the United States. I don't know what the title is going to be. I'll think about it. But I think a lot of people should know this. I think a lot of people should understand this, that you should specify what kind of people are allowed to go back to the United States. And trust me, I wouldn't be a person that just want to go back over there and mess around. I haven't. I think that living in Mexico changed me, and it changed me in a hard way. It's like going through a field full of thorns, and the thorns, they have scratched me, and they have poked me, and they have cut me so much that I really don't care about what used to be, because these thorns caught my attention to be stronger and not just think that I want to go through a field full of roses and grass, because it's not. I used to think that life was just a field full of roses, and just cross through it having fun and smiling. But coming to Mexico, it's not. So it kind of took off all the aspect of life of thinking, oh, I should go through life drinking and smoking and partying and having friends and making money and spending the money and keep partying and keep drinking and keep smoking and experience what life is about. No, because once you go through all these thorns, you just start, okay, I don't want to, okay, that hurt. And so that pain kind of pushes you away of thinking, I don't want to drink, bro. Because that hurt. Pow, another one. Wow, man. And I'm not thinking like, it pokes you and it scratches you and you just totally forgot about drinking, smoking, and partying. You just don't want to because you just start thinking, man, why am I gonna be drinking, smoking, and partying, and having fun and smiling and thinking about sex when I'm living a life where everything is just poking me around and hurting me? I hope you guys like the topic.